Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for a versus video for you guys. Now, the two albums that we'll be talking about in this video are from bands in the progressive rock scene, and both these bands are great bands. Now, the reason that I'm going to be talking about these two albums in particular in this video is because they're both more commercial sounding albums from the band. These are, the albums where a lot of people say the band went downhill and, they sold out. That could be an argument as well. And the two albums that I am talking about are Invisible Touch by Genesis versus Hold Your Fire by Rush. Now, right off the bat, I already do know which album I do like more, but we'll go ahead and go over the albums first. So let's go ahead and talk about Invisible Touch by Genesis first. Of course, from the Phil Collins era in the 80s. And, there's some people that do not like this album. They say it's one of their worst albums. And for me, I definitely disagree with that. I actually think the album is really great, actually. It's actually one of my favorite Genesis albums, believe it or not. It was also one of my first Genesis albums, so yeah, you could say that that might have something to do with it, but I don't know. I really do enjoy a lot of the songs from this album. I think it's excellent. Yeah, it definitely sounds of its time, like the other album in this video. These two albums, they definitely sound of their time, which is, of course, the reason why we're talking about them and why we're comparing them. With this album, there's a lot of great tracks on here, like Invisible Touch, Tonight, 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 Land of Confusion, Into Deep, Domino, Anything She Does, Throwing It All Away, Brazilian. I mean, I really don't got any complaints with this album as far as, the songs are concerned. I pretty much like all the songs from this album. So Invisible Touch, I think it's a solid album all in all. Now, as for Hold Your Fire by Rush, same thing, a bit more commercial sounding, and that's something that some people don't like. Some people don't like the fact that this album does sound too much of its time. It just hasn't really held up very well, according to some Rush fans. But for me, I like the album, but I don't love it, though. Yeah, it's probably one of their weakest albums, but that's not saying much, because I do think that the album is still pretty dang good. I mean, you do got songs like Force 10, of course Time Stands Still, which is one of their most popular tracks. It's of course a really huge single for the band. Open Secrets, which I think is underrated. Same could be said about Prime Mover. Really good song. And then there's the song Lock and Key, which definitely sounds of its time. Not one of my favorites on the album, but I do like it though. So yeah, Hold Your Fire, it does have its moments. It does have some good songs. And then there's some songs that I think are just like okay to good or whatever. Now, Rush, I don't think they've ever released a bad album, and none of their songs are bad, I don't think. But the songs on here, even the weaker songs on this album, I don't think are bad. So of the two albums, Invisible Touch or Hold Your Fire, which of the albums would I prefer? Which is the better album for me? Well, the winner of this video would have to go to Invisible Touch by Genesis. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer for me. Again, I like all the songs from this album. This album, yeah, while there's not a weak track still, the album, you could say, has some filler moments. And I do find more replay value with this album more than Hold Your Fire personally. But again, Hold Your Fire I think is still a pretty good album. So yeah, but I gotta go with Genesis's album Invisible Touch for this video. This is the winner of this video. So let me know what you guys think. Which album do you like more? Invisible Touch by Genesis or Hold Your Fire by Rush? Feel free to let me know. So with that being said, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day and take care.